Hey guys, this is Sensei here at Game Over, and if you want to chill, okay, just start a conversation, and I'm here to answer any questions or give me responses that I can. I'm usually on here a little bit later, so I thought I'd try to get on earlier today and see how many people are online, I guess, earlier in the day as opposed to the wee hours of the night. So talk to me. Rising Architect, thank you for joining in. Not doing anything special, people. I'm just going through some of my comments as usual. And trying to put out a little more product as far as comic books go. And there's a couple of shops around. So I'm just going to say support local. But definitely support Bushido Judo Store. If you're into comics, not to take anything away from all the other shops, but if you're into comics, I can guarantee you there's no one around in Burlington with a collection like this one. So if you want to get started in your comic collection, or just want to get into comics in general, stop by Game Over. I will definitely help you get started. I'm creating an old, well, I was creating an old Wolverine and Punisher section. Now I'm creating a Silver Surfer and Thor section. Um, and some of these are from the early '70s and late '80s and things like that. Zach, how you doing, brother? It's great to have you in class today, Zach. I'm glad you enjoyed judo, your first judo class. At least I hope you enjoyed your first judo class. But you did great today, man. It'll be good to have you aboard. Sometimes when I go through my comics, guys, I find some interesting stuff. And I found it's kind of hesitant to look through this one, but it's not too bad, I guess. But I found this Cutie Bunny comic, and it looks like they are. There's a spoof of the X-Men going on here or something like that. So I've not heard of this one. Zach says he's a little sore, but I love it. That's the thing, Zach. Your first few classes you'll be a little sore, but you will also sleep better. But in the end, you'll realize just how much fun it is. So keep training, keep coming, and I'll get you trained up. Anybody else who wants to try a judo class, um, definitely come by the dojo in Burlington on Saturdays. for adults, uh, from 1 to 2:30 on Saturdays, and on Wednesdays we have a kids jiu-jitsu or traditional jiu-jitsu class. Not BJJ, but traditional jiu-jitsu. I'm looking to expand jiu-jitsu to the adult community, but I'm having a hard time just getting people in for judo as adults because everybody's so busy these days, or um, people have a misconception about judo, and sometimes are afraid to join judo. But in the end, it's all fun. It's all fun. So, guys, talk to me. We can talk about martial arts. We can talk about um, or judo or jiu-jitsu in general. We can talk about um, life, I guess. Gavin, how you doing? We can talk about MusicCon. We can talk about on a Monday. Jess, I'm glad you got some exercise in today in class. Hopefully, you will keep that up. Gavin, what do you think about the song? The song that I'm writing for on a Monday. I can't wait for us to play it, practice it, play it, figure out how we're going to do it. I can't wait. Zach asked, how long have I had the title of sensei? Uh, that is an incredibly good question, Zach. Um, let's see. I got promoted to my first degree black belt in 1992, I believe. In 1992. So it's been a while. And I'll go ahead and say this because technically, you're not considered a sensei until third dan, a third degree black belt. But because I moved back here from California, and in the area I was in, there was no judo, I started my own class so I could continue training in judo. That was in 94, I believe, 1994. Might have been 95. 94, 95. I started my own class. I started the Shido Judo School. And so technically I've been a sensei ever since. But I've been doing judo for 38 years. I think so too, Gavin. I think it's going to come out to be an awesome song, and I can't express enough how much I hope that we can start writing our own music and not just be a cover band. But this is a good start. So yes and no. Zach, or not Zach, Gavin. Gavin is asking if I have an idea when the next MusicCon is going to be. I'm going to talk to people at City Hall. I'm going to talk to the fire marshal. I'm going to talk to the building inspector, hopefully on Monday, or at least this week. And I do have a tentative date for MusicCon. Um, you know, in the event that everything goes right, and it is August. Hold on, let me double check. Hang on. I wrote it down. So I had a meeting with my Musicon leadership team yesterday, and that's the team that we put together to help manage and run Musicon because it's definitely not a one-man job. I mean, I've done it on my own in the past, but it definitely helps having people who are there to help work the event. For example, people to help set up and break down things, people to help run the door and collect the money, people to help with the sound machine or the sound equipment, and just to make sure everything's running smoothly. I used to do all that by myself, and it was not an easy task. So we created a Musicon leadership team. Some people volunteered, and I volunteered some people, or drafted some people, not drafted, but um, offered the opportunity for some people to be on the team. And so we had a meeting yesterday. So we're planning to do a Musicon revival if everything goes well by July 29th. July 29th. That's just a tentative date, of course, which means it could change at any moment. And we've got to get in touch with some of the bands that we think would be good. We're going to start this early on a Saturday, I'm gathering. Hopefully, early around, between noon and 2 o'clock and go on through the night. And the purpose of this event is to try to raise money. It's going to be a benefit concert to try to raise money for an air conditioner for the shop. So we're going to get an air conditioner, hopefully. We've got to raise approximately $6,000 because the air conditioner, the broken one, is on the roof, and so we're just going to replace the unit itself. And with labor and getting up on the roof and all that stuff and all the equipment you have to rent to make that happen. The estimate that we were given is about 6,000. So we've got to raise about $6,000 because this building gets hot with the big windows that we have and the sun beating down into the windows. This building gets hot. And those of you who've been to Musicom before, even though we don't care, we still jam, we still have fun, we still have a good time. Um, but you know that it gets incredibly hot. So if I get, or not if, when I get approval from all the people that I need to get approval from and start Musicom back up, I definitely want to do it in a more comfortable environment. And so I know $6,000 is a lot of money to raise, but I'm confident that we can do it. If we all pitch in, it can get done. And that's what I'm banking on. This and I know some people out there who don't know me or who see this and don't know me. You might be thinking that I'm just doing this to get money, or or so I don't have to pay out of pocket or something like that. But the fact is, and everybody who does know me can attest to this, I don't just do this stuff for me. I do this for the community. I do it for the music community. I do it for the comic book community, or the comic scene, the comic community. I do it for the gaming community. And, I have a lot of events to try to get people to try to get people things to do. I don't make a lot of money from these events. If I made a lot of money from these events, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be I would have an air conditioner by now. Let's just put it that way. Um, I charge minimal fees for my activities, and you know, and whatever I do, whatever I accomplish, I definitely pay it forward, um, in one way or another. I definitely pay it forward. So, um, July 29th is the tentative date, Gavin, and we're going to try to have about 7 bands, maybe 8, if On a Monday is ready. I wouldn't mind us performing again, um, just to open up for people, and then letting all the other bands have at it. Unfortunately, usually the opening band gets a smaller crowd because people, people take their time getting here, or um, you know, come a little bit later than the show starts for whatever reasons. Maybe they're trying to find a ride or can't get here in time, whatever the reason. So the first band who opens usually gets a smaller crowd, and so I'm willing to sacrifice, you know, opening the show, giving people time to come in so that the other bands can have a full a full audience. Now, eventually, I want on a Monday to have that full audience as well. But since I'm hosting the event, um, I just prefer everybody, all the other bands get their due respect. Does that make sense to you, Gavin? So, guys, I'm going through a bunch of Punisher comics right now. I'm putting sleeves on them so I can put prices on them. A lot of the issues are like $3, so I've got a ton of Punisher stuff. Whew, you guys don't even know. I'm just going to try to pick up a handful real quick so you can see exactly. Oh, I can't even pick up a handful. Wow. Um, so this is just a handful of the Punisher comics that I've got out right now for sale. Most of them are $3. There's a couple in here that are $20 if they're a first appearance or something like that. But there's a lot of comics. And Gavin, I'm glad you understand, man. But on a Monday is gonna shine, especially when we start playing our own music. And you know, I can write some lyrics. They are, believe it or not, Pageant is on the list, my friend. I love that band. Pageant is definitely on the list. They are incredibly awesome. We've got some people talking to them right now. Um, should I tell you guys who we got, who we're trying to get to come? This isn't. This is going to be like a spoiler, but I guess if people know who we're trying to get, maybe they'll want to come because I want this to be big. So we chose some of our favorite bands to be in this lineup. Let me go get the list. Hang on. So of course, Gavin, we've got track scene. Gavin's eager to find out. Of course, we've got track scene. Orphan Ride is going to be there, hopefully. Well, if we do this, they will be there. Her Majesty, we're going to try to get to come. We're going to try to get unknown nobodies. We're going to ask Slow Stad, Pageant, Crooked Cult. And is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on a Monday, if we are ready, on a Monday is going to open up the show. So we've got a lot going on that day. And it'll be throughout the day. So, um, we might have some people that come in earlier and then leave. We might have some people that come in late. Um, and they will all get some awesome music. Either way. You come late, you're going to get some awesome music. You come early, you're going to get some awesome music. Just come. That's all we're asking. Just get there. But Gavin, what do you think about that lineup? I don't know if you know some of the bands like Slow Stab. They are freaking amazing. Well, all those bands, all of them, just freaking brutal. That's the perfect description right there, Gavin. That is a brutal lineup. And I'm telling you, people, if they let us have this, um, it's going to be an epic show. That's all I can say. I don't even know what else to say about it. It is going to be an epic show. With a lineup like that, you cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong. And again, this is Music on Revival. Um, and it's Music on Revival. And it's going to jumpstart the summer. It's going to jumpstart more bands. And hopefully, more newer bands will come up. Um, hopefully I can give newer bands a chance to play. So if you're a musician and you're trying to start a band, I got 3 words of advice for you. Practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Get good at your craft. Get good at your art, at what you love to do. And if you are good enough, I will give you opportunity to get your name out there. In fact, I'll help you get your name out there. Now, again, keep in mind, we haven't asked any of these bands. Well, we've asked, of course, Traxine asked us. So we know that's a confirmation. Orphan Riot is also confirmed. On a Monday, hopefully is confirmed. Although we didn't put that on the list, but I don't see why not, especially if we open up. I'll talk to the group about it, but there's no reason why that can't happen unless we're not ready, guys. So we gotta get some practice sessions in. We gotta get some practice sessions in, and get ready. But either way, Gavin, we're gonna be playing. Either way, we're gonna be playing. I am still excited about us live streaming our practices, our practice sessions, and our jam sessions. I am super excited about that. So either way, on a Monday is going to be playing. Either way. And Gavin, since you are in the band now, and since you're going to be like a major part of some stuff, and the reason I say that is because I don't like to sit still. When I have an idea or a plan, I like to carry that plan out to its fruition. I don't like sitting on my hands, and I don't like twiddling my thumbs. I like to get stuff done and make stuff happen. So, of course, sometimes I'll procrastinate, but that's a different story. If I procrastinate, it's for a reason. If I procrastinate, it's because I'm doing something else, that I need to be doing. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Um, I don't like sitting on my hands and just doing nothing. I like getting stuff done. I like making stuff happen. So if you are wanting to be a major part of that, that sounds like you do, since you joined the band, um, then we'll get some practice sessions in. We'll stream, as often as everybody can get together. The first couple of practice sessions, of course, we don't have to stream, but once we start getting good at what we do, then yeah, streaming is going to be a thing. I just got to make sure that Landon, because Landon also joined another band. Landon might be in a couple of bands actually. So I just got to make sure he can play with us. Otherwise, we might have to find like a backup drummer. And drummers are the hardest thing to find. Not that I'm kicking Landon out of the band or anything. I just have a feeling that he's going to have a hard time, based on what he said, that he's going to have a hard time making some practices. So we, like I said, may need a backup drummer of some sort. Which it's a possibility. We can always play a drum track while we are practicing until Landon can come as well. It's kind of a cheesy way to do it, but as long as we get some practice in. But it's really good. It feels really, really good to have a band. And I don't know. I just love this kind of stuff. It's funny that even though I don't make a lot of money doing what I do, I am very content with what I've accomplished in that somehow I managed to do everything I like to do. I like music and I like singing, so I have a band. I like reading and collecting comics, so I have a comic shop. I like playing video games, so I have an esports team. I like martial arts, so I have a dojo. And sometimes people sacrifice their happiness for money, but I don't know. I can't do it. I would much rather be happy. I'm not saying I want to be poor, of course. I'm not saying I don't like money. That's just crazy. Everybody likes money to some degree. What I'm saying is, I want to be able to make money while I'm doing things that make me happy. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Not just things that make me happy, but things that make other people happy. Everybody loves some kind of music. So the band is especially important to me because music gets me through the day. Music puts me in my better moods. And so to be able to do that for myself and somebody else, um, gotta have a band. Got to have a band, people. If you're musically inclined, of course. I've got to get with these bands to make sure they're going to be somewhat free on the 29th. But Gavin, don't put that in stone yet. Don't put that in writing yet, because um, City Hall can try to turn me down, of course. Hopefully they won't. Well, not City Hall. City Hall won't. I don't think they would turn me down, because when I talked to them, they understood that our community needs something for people to do, especially younger people. But they need something for people to do. So there aren't many places around offering that to all ages. There are young adults and adults who also need stuff to do. But the adults have bars on every corner. And my shop is just a little bit more than, it's more than collecting comic books, and it's more than collecting Pokemon cards and pop figures. My heart and soul is in this shop. And I'll just give you guys a quick story. And I talked about this a little bit, but we had an esports. Just give me a moment, I'll answer your question. But we had an esports team um, a while back. Well, I was on an esports team a while back that disbanded. And when it disbanded, all of the members started leaving the chat and the Discord, um, one by one. They were dropping off. And I stayed on because as I was watching everybody, and I was one of the sponsors of the team, by the way, but as I was watching everybody log off, or not log off, but disconnect, I guess, from the group, as I was watching everybody do that, there was one person who stayed on. And he was like, "What happened? What happened to the team?" And I explained that whatever happened happened, and he was so distraught because and then he started telling me about how that was his only outlet. That was the only people that he talked to on that team, and he didn't do anything. He wasn't allowed to do much of anything. But when he could, he would play games, and that was his escape from, I guess, his life. And he told me that, and so I never disconnected from that chat. I stayed on that chat, and every couple of months, he doesn't even get on there every day, but every couple of months, he'll send a message to that chat, and I'll respond to the message. And it was just, I was heartbroken to hear that. And that his only outlet was literally taken away from him. So I had vowed to make my own esports team, even though I'm not. I'm more of a casual player, but I decided to make my own esports team and recruit some people who can, assist me in making it grow or whatever. So, yeah. But anyway, let me answer Jess's question. Jess says, "So what are the black belt ranks in order?" So the black belt ranks, Jess, go from first dan to 10th dan in judo, and the jiu-jitsu, the Japanese jiu-jitsu rank that I hold. They go from first dan to 10th dan. So first, second, and third dan, first, second, third, and fourth dan are black belts, and fifth, fifth dan. Am I doing this right? First, second, and third, and fourth dan are black belts. Fifth dan is black and red. Sixth and seventh is black and white, and eighth, ninth, and 10th is solid red. So I am a sixth dan at the moment, and probably will be for years. Because in judo, the ranks, they definitely don't rush you to the ranks in judo. If you become a 10th dan in judo, you can't be like 12 years old. A 10th dan in judo is probably in their 70s or 80s or promoted posthumously after, which means after they passed away. I'm not sure if I pronounced that word right. Posthumously, maybe. But anyway, yeah. So that's the ranks of black belt. Ugh. Excuse me. And just make sure you don't let Scotty quit. Again, now that he's back, he needs to keep his butt in judo. Tell him I said that. Okay, good. I'm glad he heard me. He did good today, by the way, for being out so long. And tell him I said no problem, Jess. You guys need to give me some topics to talk about. Once I get rolling, I can keep it going, but I don't want to bore you guys. I want to know what stuff you guys want to talk about, not just what I want to talk about. So school is almost out, people. school is almost out, and I don't think it's going to be a very long summer. I know I'll be at the shop a lot more this summer. Well, naturally, because I probably won't. Well, I won't be subbing, so I'll be at the shop a lot more this summer. Hopefully, we won't have a heat wave like we have in the past. That heat wave was no joke. I could be showing you guys some of these comics, but I have done most of the Punisher comics. Now I'm on Wolverine, the Wolverine comics. As you can see, I didn't even realize I had this many Wolverine comics, but there's a lot. Let's see. Jess says, I feel like the summer is going to be horrible in heat because it's already hot. It is. Today was a hot day, Jess, but it took a while for it to get to this point. So I don't even know. Especially the weather here in North Carolina. It could be a snowstorm tomorrow. This weather is just crazy. And living in California was different because, the forecast was like the same almost every day. Well, it looks like today, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be sunny and warm. And tomorrow, when it's going to be sunny and warm. Let's see what the rest of the week looks like. Oh, yes, it's going to be sunny and warm. That was pretty much the weather in California. It wasn't hot. Well, some days it was. But it's usually like, well, it was when I was there. I don't know what it's like now, but the weather was very comfortable. In the 3.5, 4 years I was there, however long it was, um, the weather was always comfortable. The air quality, not so much, but the weather was great in California. And in 4 years I may have seen it rain like I'm just going from my memories here, by the way, but maybe 4 times I may have seen it rain. I know it wasn't a lot, but my recollection is at least 4 times. But I do know if it was more than four, it wasn't much more than four. That's for sure. I do miss California a little bit. I'm glad to be back here in North Carolina, of course, but I do miss California just a tad bit. Just a tad. But after a few years, I got a little homesick while I was out there and decided to move back to North Carolina. The cool thing that I liked about California was that we lived right near the beach and right near the mall and right near this giant theater. And it was so much fun going out on the boardwalk and ordering or getting food. Oh my gosh, so much fun. And me and my friends used to, one of them had and I, at one point I had a truck, a mini truck. And um, we used to all go and pile up in the back of the truck and watch movies at a drive-in. It was awesome. That ancient relic called the drive-in. So much fun. That was also when arcades were huge. So in California, you can't imagine what the arcades were like. There's so many games, so many games. The company that I worked for, they had like the store that I managed. I had like 140 something games, maybe 160. Might have been 160. And I'm not talking about all skee ball games and all basketball games, all ticket games. I'm talking about hardcore fighting games they used to have way back in the day before everybody started complaining about how violent games were. Yeah, all these violent games. I'm not going to tell anybody how to raise their kids. I will say that even without games, kids are still violent. There are kids who just don't care about what happens to them or what happens to somebody else. They just don't care. I'm really, really worried about where our society is heading, people. So Jess says drive-ins are fun. They went to one when Endgame came out. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know drive-ins were still a thing. I didn't know they were any around here. But yeah, I'm really worried about where our society is heading. With some of the youth we have growing up today, I hope, I didn't know there was one to eat in this. I have to go. I have to check that one out. But I hope that, and I try to tell, especially kids at school, I try to tell them um, that school is kind of, well, it is life. It is like life. I mean, it's all the same. You have to do stuff that you don't want to do. You have to do work that you don't want to do. You have to get up early in the morning when you don't want to. But they rebel against all that stuff. They complain and rebel against all that stuff. And it's hard to get them to understand that that is practice for life. It is literally practice for life. It's practice for how your life is going to go on a daily basis when you're an adult. The only difference is there's no one that's going to be there to hold your hand and no one for you to complain about because all of the mistakes that you make are going to be yours. There's going to be no one to blame anything on. Um, for the most part. Sometimes other people can affect your outcome, but as far as decision making skill goes, or decision making goes, the choices you make are going to be your choices, not someone else. But I say all this, and unfortunately, they still don't get it. So I just cling on to the hope that all kids have the ability to be good kids and to make good choices and do the right thing if they choose to. Like there's literally nothing stopping them. That goes for adults too. Excuse me. There's very little that stops someone from being a good person. I mean, sometimes we make stupid decisions, of course, but you know, unless there's some medical condition, most people have the ability to make the choice to be a good person. As Hulk Hogan says, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, brother? Well, guys, I'm going to get off, close out. I just want to get on to see how everybody's doing. I was hoping more people would get on and ask questions or communicate. But I might get on later. I don't care if it's only one person on or 100. Um, I'm going to try to do these as often as I can. So just bear with me. And look out for me if you see me online. In the meantime, everybody stay safe and stay awesome. This is Sensei from Game Over, and I'm out.